just look from the look of things that the local government election might just happen tomorrow in Osun State across the 30 local government areas. That means for the office of the local government chairman in the 30 LGAs and the councillorship seats might be filled. This is because there is a court order from an Elisha High Court asking that the electoral body in Osun State should go ahead and conduct the elections in all of the 30 LGAs, and has also ordered the security agencies across board to provide protection and security. Well, this is coming despite the legal advisory given by the federal government. Yesterday, we saw the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, with a legal advisory to the government of Osun State and Senator Ademola Adeleke, the governor, to toe the line of legality and based on the extant law and the judgment of court to consider holding on in going ahead with the elections. But the court has said go ahead with the election. This comes a day after the Attorney General had given his legal advisory. Let me just read a portion of the Attorney General's advisory. He said, I will appeal to His Excellency Governor Adeleke to toe the path of law in this matter and not instigate unnecessary violence in Osun State. Nobody benefits from violence. It is therefore of utmost importance for Governor Adeleke to advise Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, OSIEC, to shelve the idea of proceeding with any local government election now. But now, events may have overtaken that because today, a court sitting in Elisha had given an order. Well, an official of Osun State has been speaking, and they said the governor is a law-abiding citizen and governor of the state and will follow the law. Take a listen to the press conference held earlier today.
The governor of Osun State is law-abiding and cannot go against the judgment of the Osun State High Court just highlighted. More so, OSEC is an independent body. No government, no state government has a control over the affairs of OSEC. It's just like the federal government cannot control INEC. State government cannot control OSEC. The order and the judgment is against OSEC, and I want to enjoin the good people of Osun State to comply with the judgment and decision of the Osun State High Court by going out tomorrow to cast their votes for the political parties of their choice.
All right, that was earlier today. Let's get some insight into what has been going on. The APC says they will not participate in that election. I'm being joined by a former commissioner for works and transportation in Osun State under Governor Oyetola, who is also presently the executive director, project implementation at the Federal Housing Authority in Nigeria. Is live for us from Lagos City. Thank you so much, Honorable Mowai, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, Sean, good evening. Good evening, viewers at home.
Your party has said that it will not participate in the election of tomorrow, but the High Court in Elisha has said OSIEC should go ahead and conduct the election. Let me get your view on the order of court.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that the order is coming from a court in my town. This is a judicial rascality. There is a clear court judgment affirming the elected local government officials. There is no vacancy, so you cannot have election. And it is also laughable that a court of a lower jurisdiction is giving an interlocutory injunction against the judgment of the court of higher coordinate. It is laughable. I saw what the Attorney General of the state said earlier, a lawyer. I'm shocked that the Attorney General of the state, that is a lawyer, is also saying they want to adhere strictly to the interlocutory injunction from a court of lower coordinate, when the Court of Appeal has clearly stated that there's no vacancy and that this act council chairman and councillor should be reinstated. So it's simple. There's no vacancy. As far as the law is concerned, the council chairman and the councillors are back in office.
So usually what happens is when there is some controversy or when there is a confusion about the position of the law, you have to go back to the court to get clarity. And I'm not sure what you meant by judicial rascality, because this is a competent court, and it might be offensive to that court and the honorable judge who sat in that court. With your statement, I like not to offend the sensibility of our court, because they are the opium of the masses. They are the defender of the average person. But your party says it will not participate in that election. Is there any justification for that?
Yes, because there's no vacancy. There's no need for the election. Sean, I think we need to make this clear. You're a lawyer and you understand this. If you need an interpretation of a judgment, you go to the higher court, not the lower court. You are going to a state high court to interpret a judgment of the Court of Appeal, a unanimous judgment of the Court of Appeal. And it's also very laughable that the motion was filed 3 days ago for the High Court case, and OSIEC, the highly partisan OSIEC, and Ashim, the chairman of OSIEC, who's also a card-carrying member of PDP, are the respondents in the case brought by PDP. There's no dispute among the three of them. PDP has said they are going to participate in the election. OSIEC has said they are going to do election. Ashim has said he's going to do election. So we're going to the court in the first instance, but that's not even the point. The point is, there's a clear judgment by the Court of Appeal. A lower court cannot give a restraining injunction against a judgment, not ruling, a judgment of the Court of Appeal. It is clear, Sheil. I mean, a lower court cannot give. In fact, it's also laughable that the lower court is ruling on the APP Federal High Court judgments. And the question is, even the APP as a party was not joined in the suit. But as I said earlier, that's not even important to us, because as far as we are concerned, there's no vacancy. There's a valid Court of Appeal judgment. So we don't need to even go back and forth. The chief law officer of the country, the Attorney General of the Federation, came out yesterday and expressly said that there's no vacancy because there's a valid court judgment that has restated this council executive. So there's no point us going back and forth. There's no point in us saying whether we should go and take part in the election or not take part. Ab initio, there's no vacancy. There's no need for election.
So there are a few things that the order of that court had established today. In that motion on notice, which was brought pursuant to Section 6, subsection 6, and Section 36, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, and Section 3 of the OSIEC law, it established that there is vacancy across the 30 local government. The order of court is acknowledging that there is vacancy. The order of court is also mandating and compelling the OSIEC to conduct election through a democratic process, and also that mandating the security services across all the agencies to provide cover and protection for that purpose. These are fundamental for any conduct of an election, which the order of court has given protection and given direction to.
Sheil? Sheil?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm giving you the premise upon which the court sat and gave his order And of course, you know, the nature of this order, usually for a lot of people who might be wondering, what is the efficacy of an order when you go to whether an interlocutory order or whatever order, it has its own lifespan. Is a relief you seek in front of the court to say, God protect me, I may be injured by the decision or the action of the other party. But pending when that action will happen, stop the other party until we both appear before you, and an order of God is given to protect whatever is supposed to be the material, the value of the argument in question. These are some of the issues that happen. And when Osun State discovered that there might be a problem if election was not conducted, that's why they ran to the court to say, give us protection pending when we appear before you. This will be this order will expire naturally because it has a lifespan. And I'm giving you the premise upon which they approached the court today.
So, who went to court? Who went to court, Shehu?
Of course, it isn't obvious. It's there in the order, isn't it?
Hello? Who went to court?
The PDP went to court.
Now, the PDP went to court. You go to court when there is dispute. PDP is saying they are ready for the election. OSEC, the partisan OSEC is saying they are ready for the election. The chairman of PDP, a card-carrying member of, chairman of OSEC, a card-carrying member of PDP, has said he's ready for the election. So ab initio, there was no dispute. So why did they even go to court? But that's not even the concern. As I said earlier, you have gone to collect an order to say you must do election, an order to tell you there's no vacancy. So the question is, when the substantive matter is determined, what will be determined? When all what we expect that is determined by the substantive judgment had been given as order, but that's not even the issue. The issue is clear, Shehu. It's just like you wake up today and you say you go and get an order from the court saying that you go and do presidential election. The president has been elected for a term of 4 years, and until he runs out his term, there cannot be another president, there cannot be an election. So this is very, very clear. We don't have to argue this. You're a lawyer, you understand this clearly. There's a court of appeal judgment that is clear, that has said there's no vacancy. These people should go back to their work, and they have since resumed. So you're going to get order from a lower court, from a court of lower jurisdiction, is abuse of judiciary. That's why I said it earlier that it's just laughing.
Let me ask you.
It's even coming from the High Court in my town, but I can tell you that is not even our concern. It cannot stand anywhere. It's clear. You're a lawyer, you understand this. A lower court cannot validate a judgment of a court of appeal. It is not done. This is not a banana republic show. It's not done. So we are not even stressing ourselves. Yeah.
How did we get here? And what was bizarre to a lot of Nigerians watching is how violence broke out in your state. And perhaps you also understand that you were also under attack. We also understand that some persons have been killed. How did we get here? How come your party and the PDP, or with whoever is in all of these in the equation, got at against each other and people were killed? I mean, how did Osun State get to this level? And because they have accused you and your party of this violence.
So it's quite unfortunate. They've accused us of violence, but we're on the receiving end. We lost a prominent member of our party, Remy Abbas. You can say I'm putting on black. We are still mourning him. One of the reinstated chairman of Wale local government was killed in the broad daylight. My convoy was fired at. They raided my vehicle with bullets. Why that? What all that? Well, I think we should beg Governor Adeleke not to kill all of us, because there is a clear court of appeal judgment. Now, let me give you the genesis of this thing so that our viewers at home will understand. On the 25th of November, 2022, there was a Federal High Court judgment that sacked the validly elected council chairman and councillor. On the 27th of November, 2022, Governor Adeleke sacked those council chairmen using an executive order, inching this on the 25th November 2022 Federal High Court judgment. Our party, not pleased with this, approached the Court of Appeal. And on the 10th of February, the Court of Appeal set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court of November 25th that Governor Adeleke inched his executive of that to dissolve the council members. And the Court of Appeal reinstated them. They granted all the relief, and part of the relief is that the validly elected council chairman and the councillor should be reinstated back to office, and the Court of Appeal granted the reliefs. So, and we went to the police. The police said, we cannot act until we see the CTC. And don't forget, according to the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution, Section 287, subsection 2, it said, and I quote, the decision of the Court of Appeal shall be enforced by authority and persons. Now, it is a duty of the police to enforce the decision of the Court of Constitution of Nigeria. So we approached the security operative, and they said, until we get they get the certified true copy. So they got the certified true copy some days after, and they said, yes, you people can resume back to office. But it was shocking that when these validly elected councillors were going back to office, they were attacked. Remy Abbas was killed in the broad daylight. There was no provocation. I was going on the federal highway. They fired at my vehicle. I was not going to the council. I was not even part of the councillors. There was no provocation. We are law-abiding people. We are law-abiding party. We adhere strictly to the Court of Appeal judgment. And the PDP caucus in the House of Reps came up with a motion, and they said the Attorney General of the Federation should interpret the judgment. He's the number one, he's the chief law officer of the country. When there was issue in the case of Edo State, the Attorney General of the Federation said the APC governor of Edo cannot sack the PDP governors, and they were reinstated. When the House of Rep caucus, PDP members caucus from Osun State, said the Attorney General of the Federation should interpret the judgment of the Court of Appeal, February 10th Court of Appeal. The Attorney General came and interpreted it and said there is no vacancy, that these people are back in office. The court had reinstated them. And they advised the governor that you should not cause problem in the state. So I don't understand why the governor is insisting on holding an election when there's no vacancy. So it's clear, we don't need to argue this back and forth. The only thing the governor can do is for him to seek for stay of execution, file a notice of appeal to the Supreme Court. It is simple, it is clear. We are a law-abiding party, and we are going to stand by the law. You cannot have a lower court, a high court, validating a judgment of the Court of Appeal. So you are a lawyer, you know this is not possible.
Mr. Remy Omowaye, thank you so much indeed, and we're hoping that whatever happened in your state, no one else will die and no one will be injured, just for the sake of peace and progress in that state. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Mr. Remy Omowaye is a former commissioner for Works and Transportation in Osun State. Thanks so much indeed.